Okay, so a couple of weeks ago, I did this thing where I asked ChatGPT to ask me questions as if it was an entrepreneur, and you guys really seem to enjoy that. So I thought, let me turn it into a bit of a series. If you've got any questions, comments, things you might do a bit differently, please throw them in the comments down below. Really look forward to engaging with you guys. Now, the first entrepreneur we've got is David, who owns a cafe in the big city. He's turning over about 800,000 Rand per annum. Now, his operating environment is one where he's just recently had a big increase in his rental that was unexpected, and the foot traffic in the area that he's operating in tends to be quite erratic. So David is trying to figure out, how can I improve cash flow in my slow periods, and then trying to find some sort of strategies to reduce costs without necessarily compromising on the quality of his product. Now, personally, I'm a proponent of figuring out ways to optimize on your resources rather than trying to cut down on your cost, because cutting down cost essentially means getting rid of resources, which at some point becomes a race to the bottom where you end up with no resources to work with. So rather find ways in which you can increase the potential turnover or profitability of the resources that you do have before you get to a point where you are trying to cut down on those costs. But in this scenario, assuming that the product itself actually isn't the problem, what I would typically recommend, if customers are refusing to come to you as a business, take your business and your product to the customers. I would recommend someone in David's scenario look at potentially creating some sort of subscription or pre-ordering model, right? So if people aren't coming in to order food, go to them with flyers, go to them with sign-up lists and order forms. Get them to place orders for their coffee tomorrow morning, the day before. Get them to place the orders for the meals for the week to come on the Monday, and then you just deliver it to them Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday throughout the week, etc. What I would suggest David do is essentially take the staff that he's got existing, send them out into the businesses and offices that are within a walking distance of his business, so that he's not having to invest too much in additional infrastructure, vehicles, etc. to run deliveries. Get customers to place orders, maybe put them on some sort of waiting list for 2 weeks, so that he can build up a solid base of deliveries, and then just go do batch deliveries at each of these businesses. Now, if David can get to a point where people are placing regular orders with him, I would recommend looking at trying to upsell customers on their products. So if someone is ordering a coffee for the next morning, try get them to buy a muffin as well. If someone is ordering lunch, try get them to buy a drink or a dessert with their lunch as well. This way you're making sure that you're really optimizing on the potential turnover that you can get from each transaction. And again, guys, this is going to be trial and error. If it doesn't work, that is perfectly fine. Take your L, don't let it defeat you, learn the lesson, fail, adapt, and then go out and try again.